My name is Nate with Common Sense Gaming, and wow, have you noticed how popular Rust has gotten on Twitch and on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, social media, YouTube? My favorite of them all? Well, I've definitely noticed. I keep my ear to the ground quite a lot, and I don't even understand that saying, really, because why am I listening to the ground? Anyways, there's a lot of parallels between games like Rust and Minecraft, and I want us to talk about, from like a common sense approach, why these games exist, how they did get so popular, and how these experiences can be created again. If you're interested in any of this, I'm looking forward to having you for like the next 8 minutes or so. So let's begin from a YouTuber's perspective. Let's just talk about why these games suddenly blow up, talking about Rust in particular. Rust is a game, I personally have like 50 or 60 hours in it. Rust is a game that promotes a lot of gameplay freedom, and it encourages you to play with your friends, and you combine those two elements and it's like a social activity. So you're talking on the mic like Among Us when someone hits the button. There's a proximity chat. You can hear people, you can hear random people, you can be with your friends in Discord, whatever you want to do. It's a social activity with a ton of freedom. It's a survival game with a lot of base building with no limitations, which is different than games like H1Z1, which Rust beat out after all this time 10 years ago when H1 was out, had very limited base building. And that's why we're left with really Ark and Rust and that the DayZ mod that just hurts. It's on Steam. It just hurts. Anyways, these games deserve their popularity for a couple of reasons. These games are a YouTuber's dream for content, as we were talking about. You combine friends, the social setting, the gameplay experience, base building freedom. Your goals are whatever you want them to be. The game is so good for making content and putting that out on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok for the rest of the world to see. People who don't even play video games are now seeing games like Rust. That's really cool because Fortnite and Among Us are other examples of like this happening. In Call of Duty, like people who don't play video games know these words, Minecraft. But Rust is a lot different. Rust is like a video game. And let's talk about how we can replicate these experiences going forward, and let's take a common sense look at the trend. I know I told myself I would use the phrase common sense more since that's the name of this channel. So these gameplay experiences, let's look back at the companies and the people that created them. So, we've got like famous Notch made Minecraft, and no one really knew who he was before. And you have the devs of Rust are the same exact way. These are not massive AAA companies designing games with these systems in mind from the beginning on how to milk every loot box or battle pass. We're pretty much away from loot boxes these days. Thank God. Battle passes, DLC, downloadable content later that we're paid for extra maps, whatever. Thank God Call of Duty is stopping that as well. I'd rather do battle pass than any of that other stuff. But these games were made with one thing in mind. This is important. This is the only thing you need to take away from this video. You can click off after if you want. They were made with fun in mind. They were made to be fun gameplay experiences. And the devs never abandoned them either. They loved their community and they kept growing with it. Rust is not a new game. I remember Rust came out like 10 years ago, like we talked about before, against H1Z1 and 7 Days to Die, all these old survival games that kind of blow nowadays and are dead. Rust was made with fun in mind, and Rust looked nothing like it did 10 years ago. Rust has had a complete engine change. That's how massive, like what Overwatch is about to do with Overwatch 2. Like, this does not happen very often. When game developers care about their game and they want to invest in it going forward, they will change the engine if they see fit. And that is a green flag if I've ever seen one when devs announce they're going to do an engine change. That is a very green flag. After all these years, the games just got better. Minecraft looked a lot different back then, and it's even better now. Same with Rust. They were made with fun in mind. It's nothing like the giant Activision and giant EA and, the big Valve. I mean, I love Valve games, but we've had a couple misses with, mainly Artifact. Half-Life Alyx is apparently really good. I will play that soon. I hate to draw Valve into that, but, mostly the other big gaming companies. They're not trying to make games really anymore with fun as their main goal. It's more about, from the beginning, they know they're making sequels and they know they are making variations of something they've already produced, and they're trying to make sure that it's going to make a lot of money. Obviously, it's a nice fantasy for everybody if the game will make a lot of money and be fun. That's why I think it's so rare when you get Activision stumbling upon Call of Duty Warzone. That probably shouldn't have happened, but we ended up making a really fun gameplay experience and it made a ton of money. Everyone's happy. Of course, in our opinion, which is the correct one, by the way, as players and consumers, worry about making the game fun. When you do that, we will spend money. Just please make the game fun. All we care about is playing fun games with our friends. Make that and you'll make money. Don't make this math problem the other way around. Don't worry about money first. You start to lose that way, and it becomes harder for you to win, game developers, if anyone's watching this out there. So getting back to the fun element, these are very small companies that are now really big. Of course, we know Mojang and the Microsoft purchase, and you know, they're going to get big because of how successful the game becomes. But you look at the origins of where they came from. These are not big studios. They made the games with fun in mind, and this is how we can replicate it going forward. Any of you that are out there that wish to become a game developer one day, or you wish to like have a studio underneath you, or you like coding in your spare time and you love like writing game and game design, worry, and I'm sure you do if you're passionate this young about it, you're worrying about the game being fun, and that's what you should always chase after, and I don't think you should ever let go of that. I heard one thing from Asmongold today. I heard this from Asmongold, and it made me laugh so hard because I thought it was the most true thing ever. Asmongold said, I would never want to make a game, or I would never want to release a game unless it was a game that ruined everyone's lives. Meaning, he only wants to make a game and release it if it is so good that people dedicate their lives to it and they just stop doing whatever else they're doing. And I thought that was an amazing statement, because that's somewhat what I did with Overwatch. That's somewhat where, like, a week at a time, we will stop our life to play a game. And I think any gamer out there is kind of like that. If your favorite game came out, probably, you know, big releases typically, like an Elder Scrolls game, or even if it's on a smaller scale, like Portal 2 came out and the game is so good, you're gonna stop your life for that next like 2 or 3 days while you beat the game. That is a great example of making sure fun is the most important part of the game first. That is how Rust can do what it just did this past week. They put fun first, and that will trickle down to everyone else on social media. That's how you get all these creators to eventually come together and build these RP servers, and it's a whole lot of fun. You know, maybe you want to call it lightning in a bottle, maybe you want to call it lucky. It can happen to any game, you know, maybe. It definitely can't happen to any game. But all I know is that it is common sense for game developers to worry about fun first and not shred their games with microtransactions, DLC content, extra ways to pay for things on top of the base game. Stop it. This is why Minecraft and Rust did so well for so long. They worried about fun first. And I think that's the most common sense thing we could ever say about a game. I hope you guys agree. And if you don't, please leave a comment down below and I will argue with you for days. I'm just playing. Or not. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this 66 render resolution Call of Duty Modern Warfare gameplay. I turn it down that low because I'm a competitive player and it drives up my frame rate, and that's how you see, yes, I did get 100 kills. 122, not bad. Yeah. I also don't want there to be an expectation that every single video I make will have gameplay of the corresponding games in the title or like the topic, because I don't want that expectation there. And I love the video footage that I use. So I hope you guys like FPS games and random Dark Souls and other stuff. Have a good rest of the day, guys. Thanks for watching.